he'll be on here in a minute. So, this is our leaders call that I'm recording. I'm going to get this out to you guys that weren't able to be on the call. But I wanted to talk because I'm not going to be able to have a leaders call on Monday. I'll be out and about for spring break with my boys. So we wanted to get this out, the information out about Vegas, because Vegas is going to be much bigger and better than we even planned and what we originally thought. And I'm glad everyone can make it for April 16th. I'm staying until the 22nd. You guys at least stay through the 18th or 19th, I would say, to be able to get to the corporate office on Monday when they open and see everybody, meet everyone who's there. We're going to have an agenda of everything that's going to go on with Vegas. We are going to have almost all of RV's time because I've got a great relationship with Denise, and she said his schedule's wide open, so she's keeping his schedule wide open for when we're in Vegas. And so that's going to be key. I want to do some breakout sessions, powwow sessions, and it's going to be a lot larger than we originally anticipated. So that's why I wanted to also make sure Gary was on this call. He can kind of explain, because Gary was just in Vegas a couple days ago. He's got eyeball to eyeball with RV. Did a $50,000 trading agreement. Good job, Gary. I know. I think RV will probably get you a little banner that you can add into the group to show everyone that you're now part of the 50K club. But so Gary, why don't you just chat real quick about what you talked about with RV about Vegas, what that looks like, and kind of go from there.
Sure. Well,
Hey, Suresh.
Suresh. My wife had several hours with RV privately. It was just really a lot of fun. We get to know him. My wife's a really good judge of character, and she's met him twice before, and she goes, "You finally found the real deal here, Gary. Jeez, after all these years and all this stuff." So he showed me a bunch of stuff on the computer that I was rather shocked at. I saw one account that had $232 million in a trading account. He said there's two guys, Gary, that I talked a little bit to him about my dreams and I want to buy a ranch in Montana. And he goes, "Well, we can make 6, 8, 10 million a year here. We already have people doing it." And I said, "What?" He showed me one guy's making $8 million a year, another one making $6 million a year, and several on their way up over $2 million. I said, "Oh boy." So we got to talking about Vegas and how many you can bring, and he goes, "Well, you're going to be the first to hear. I have a private country club where he lives, and we can have over 200 people there. And there's no COVID restrictions or anything because it's a private event." I said, "Can I be the first to tell everybody?" He said, "Sure." So anyway, now we can have 200 there and not 40 or 50. So I'm very excited about being able to announce that. So the next few days we'll get together and put some kind of a criteria together. I think we can pretty much get everybody there, and that's going to be the key to your future and understanding how real this really is. So he also showed me some other stuff. He showed me the Kala wallet, which is what everybody's waiting for, and it's a real deal. I actually saw it. So it's all coming. It's all exciting. I put in the regular chat room just a few minutes ago, people were saying 2 more weeks. I said, "I'd much rather this be 2 more weeks and a few late payments and be here for 20 years than be a scam and pay us in 10 seconds." So I hope that made sense to everybody that saw that. But that was pretty much it, Dane. It's just everything's rocking in Vegas. They're busy. Thank goodness he has Diane or Denise to help him organize, because he's swamped. He said, "Don't tell anybody else I'm coming down. I'm going to come down and grab you guys out of the lobby and go up to my suite." So it was a great time. He showed me all kinds of stuff and just talked about the vision in the future and other companies that are following and why they are. And it was a very exciting time to see again, the legitimacy of what we have involved in here. It's going to be tough to get people to understand that this is real. There's lots of companies following, but this one 100% is actually real. So it's an exciting time. So back to you, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you, Gary. So I guess what the four of us can briefly chat about is criteria for Vegas. Do we want to put a limitation for people that have at least a $10,000 trading agreement? Because we have to kind of realistically think, how many people can we get in Vegas? I mean, obviously we could fill it easily, but we want the cream of the crop there. So I think if I know that, Gary, you were looking at maybe taking 50 spots or whatever. If that's what you're looking at, then what we can do is take the 150 and divide it by the rest of us, which I think you just added 2 to our leaders group. Is that right, Gary?
Right, yes.
Okay, so we have a total of, I think 10 or 11 now in our leaders group. I think maybe 10. I think we have 10. So 10 times 20 is 200. Now, Gary, are you wanting to take a 50 spot and keep 50 for yourself? Is that what you're wanting to do?
I think so, because I can get, with the 2 other guys that are in the leaders group now, I think we can get 50 of the really top caliber people there. So yeah, that'd be perfect.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll leave aside 50 top cream of the crops for you, because I know you can do it, and bring them there. And once they get there, they're going to be sold. So then I say amongst the other 9 of us, we've got 150. So that's about 15. That's about 16 people. So let's just say for safety reasons, we'll all invite 16 people. We have capability of inviting 16 people to Vegas on April 16th through the 22nd. Scott, you just jumped in, but we do have the country club. It's a private country club of RVs that he's going to give us that will hold 200 people, and there's no limitations due to COVID because it's a private club. That's something Gary had mentioned that RV had told him a couple days ago when he was in Vegas. So that's real exciting. So what we'll do is we'll have breakout sessions. I don't know how accessible that country club will be after the event on that Saturday. I'm going to just plan it where we won't have access to the country club anymore, but we do want to get people to the corporate office, and it depends upon if we do have 200 people there. We can only have 25 people at a time in the office, and that includes the people in the office. So that probably means groups of 10 or so. That would be 20 times. We have to kind of get groups of 10 in and out of the corporate office. So it all depends upon how long people are staying. So I'd say between Monday and Tuesday, we can work on that, just shuffling 10 or so people to stay 20 minutes or so in the corporate office. And we do that, until everyone has been able to get into the corporate office and seen everything. I know that we will, RV will take the top, just us, the top, probably our top 10 of us that are on this group out to dinner. And it's like really the cream of the crop. I think the most he can take out to dinner is 20, maybe 25. But with Denise and with everyone else, and Bryce, and I think probably Lynn and some other people, that's gonna limit us to about 20 people that we can invite. Not 20 that we can invite, but 20 total that can go out to dinner with RV. So we have to really kind of discuss that amongst ourselves on who those other 10 people are going to be. Between, obviously, all 10 of us are going to go, but so then we have to be real selective on who we get out, and then maybe what we do is the following day we pick 10 new people to go to lunch, and then 10 new people to go to dinner that night, and then 10 new people, so on and so on, depending upon how long they stay. I think us as leaders, we all deserve to always be there with RV for his lunches and his dinners, and that's just kind of a reward to us that he does. So we can just kind of talk about that, and we can kind of organize that when we get to Vegas. I don't think we should say anything to anyone else about this, that, hey, we're also going to do dinner, we're also going to do lunch. It would be kind of just on a invitation only basis, and maybe it's the spur of the moment. Maybe on Saturday, RV talks about, well, Saturday all day we're going to be at the country club, but maybe on Sunday he takes off, so we'll kind of get together and we'll do powwow sessions on Sunday, whether we get the presidential suite that Denise is trying to get us, maybe for Sunday, all day Sunday. We have the presidential suite, we have the corporate office, kind of thing like that. But then when we get back with RV on Monday and Tuesday, it could be kind of a spur of the moment thing. Okay, RV's heading to lunch, and maybe it's just us that go to lunch with him. Or then maybe later on for dinner, we can invite one person each. So now we figure out who that one person is. You figure out yourself who that one person is you're going to invite, and then we go to dinner, and then the other people, we just say, listen, we'll meet back later, or whatever. Not necessarily telling them, hey, we're going out to with RV to dinner, and you guys do your own thing. We still want to make them feel important because we're all human beings. None of us are greater than anybody else, but I just don't want people to get the feeling that um, they're not as important as us or other people, and so I think that's why we have to keep that kind of low key. But I think with Vegas, what are your thoughts on making your thoughts on either A, we as leaders come up with our own stipulation of what 15, 16 people we want to invite, or do we do something collectively like, okay, the only people we can invite have to have A, B, C, D, E kind of thing? What are your thoughts?
I'll go first, I guess. I think it's a couple things. I think 10,000 is a good number to hit with because I think we can get several hundred that would be interested in incoming. So you got to narrow it down. Another thing to do, I've been at these events where people have told people you're invited, but you're not to go to the dinner. It does hurt feelings. So one of the things I thought of is possibly, and I could orchestrate this or if we could do it, an Eventbrite. Now I know who's coming for sure, and then maybe have envelopes that when they get to the home office tour part or before somewhere, it's just that they're not checking in at a hotel where we can get a registration and hand them envelopes, but have something like that to where say you have been privately invited, you only don't tell any of your people to a very special blah 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 in the state of this place, and that way it wouldn't hurt feelings, but they would feel even more special that they get to go. We just got to figure out when to get those envelopes. But the Eventbrite might be, it's a free online booking thing for events, and it's very organized and structured, and it's worked in the past for me. I've done it a bunch of times, but those are a couple of things I would suggest. I like the 10,000 thing because you're going to get people that will actually go up to that just to get there.
Okay, great.
And then, sorry, I think 10,000 is much doable for someone that needs us. And even some people might be leaders, but they're tough financially. They can't afford 10,000 for whatever reason, right? So the requirement is minimum 10,000, but you're gonna pay by year with some of the leaders who doesn't have 10,000, but they know they're gonna be big, so you need to have like one or two people that you need to have a leeway to do it,
Okay.
And you could just lie to them too, Suresh.
Suresh doesn't lie.
You're breaking up, Gary. You're breaking up.
Anyone else have some input on that?
Here's another thought. I'm going to buy a 10,000 while I'm there in cash or in a cashier's check. That's another thought.
Yes. Great idea. Great idea. That's a great idea because here's and as long as I get all of you guys' approval on Wednesday's call. But we have to. So are we all in agreement that you have to have at least a 10 or have to have at least a 5 to go to Vegas? I mean, what are we? 10? Okay.
Yeah.
So must have a 10, and then what I can do is say, listen, if you don't have a 10, but you want a 10 and you want to get funded immediately, you can always bring either a cashier's check or 10 to Vegas. You need to reach out to us as soon as possible if you want to be one of the few people chosen, elected to go to Vegas, kind of thing. So I think that's a great idea because people are gonna say, well, shoot, I wanted to do a 5, but man, if 10's gonna get me to Vegas, and then they'll reach out, they'll say, yeah, I'll bring a $10,000 cashier's check, and that'll be great. I think that's a great suggestion that we bring that up in the call.
Another thought would be also, guys, is to think about they can meet privately. We're going to have a special private. Remember that thing we did where people brought a bunch of cash and cashier's checks?
Yep.
There's only 6 of us.
Yep.
That kind of special,
yes,
extra special thing. And then something I forgot to mention before, but when we were talking, he says, there's a lot of, I brought it up, I said, there's people that are complaining that the cashier's checks aren't getting credited or whatever, being mailed to the corporate office. He goes, why don't you just take over that thing, Gary? I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, if you're going to be down here all the time, just have everybody mail that stuff to you and you get it done. And I said, okay, I'll think about it. So I don't know, but that's a thought, people can send, then they know it's going to happen because I'll make it happen. If I'm there all the time, most of the time, I'll walk in and say, here's the following checks, here's their usernames, here's the amounts. Put them in the computer as we speak, like you did my 50, right there on the spot in front of us.
No, oh my goodness, there would be so many headaches that I wouldn't have if that's something that you would take over. That would be amazing. What happens is, again, I mean, let's be honest. PGI needs to tighten the reins. They really do. They're growing so quick. There's so many things that they let fall by the wayside, and that's one of them. People mail in a $10,000, $20,000 cashier's check. 3 weeks later, it's been cashed, but it hasn't reflected in their account. It's because they see these. It's
nothing worse than word gets out of a couple of those. Now they're stealing their money.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that would be absolutely wonderful if you decide to do that, because that would totally help the team. I know that there's some even bigger news that's about to come out that we're going to share with the team in due time. So that would be great, Gary, if you could head that up. I mean, we don't want to put more on your plate than it is, but cause sometimes Dr. Rose isn't in there, and I can't get a hold of her, and I've been trying to get her to get these 3 people's accounts funded, and I can't get a hold of her. So, but yeah, that would be awesome. So what I'll do is on the Wednesday call, I'll mention about Vegas, and then I'm thinking, Scott, I know you're real good with doing things. Do you think you could create a template with maybe, I don't know, 40 or 50 invites? Hey, you've been invited to a special VIP session with RV and the team. And then what we can do, and if not, I could probably get Lynn to do it. If you can't do it, I know Lynn's with RV. He just texted me now. I could probably get Lynn to do it in between his time with RV if you can't. But I'm thinking, like Gary said, if we can get put it in a nice little envelope, which I'll reimburse whoever does this. I'll reimburse you. But I think if we get something nicely printed out, you can print out. You can do like 10 on one page and do like 4 pages and print 4 pages. But with some nice, maybe some nice paper, some like some thicker paper, or maybe some colored paper or something like that. So when we print it out, then we can just cut those off, put them in envelopes, and we can either personally give them to people, or like Gary had mentioned, maybe have them at their hotel or something like that as they check in. I think it's probably more something where we just have, and each one of our leaders, we get like 5 of them each, so we can invite one person to lunch today or one person to dinner, and so it's not specific, because if it's specific, then it just loses everything. We just need to do something just very general, and we can just hand them out when we're in Vegas. That yes, you can go to.
I like the idea of handing them out, Dave.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so we have a date or a date and a time and a place, and we can write it in, kind of a thing.
Yeah, that'd be great. We could actually write it in. You could literally just leave a blank where we can write it in, and then that way we could say, look, hey, we're doing dinner tonight, not even that. Just here, I wanted to invite you to this, and we hand those out individually, and each of us as leaders, we get like 5 of those or 6 of them, something like that.
Okay. So make about 50 of them, I think?
Yeah, I'd say make about 50 of those if you could, with maybe gold paper for like Bitcoin color. Yeah.
Okay. All right, man.
Cool. Thank you.
It's a nice envelopes, right?
What's that?
Okay.
Yeah. We'll put them in envelopes, and we'll each get envelopes with the invites, and we'll just hand those out.
All right.
Anyone else have anything? I see someone put something in the chat here. Okay.
Dave, I got something I wanted to run by you. When I put my withdrawal in tomorrow. That'll be like 5 withdrawals I'm still waiting on. Is there any news on that?
Man, I sent another text again to RV again this morning. So, I mean, I send him messages all the time, and they unfortunately, a lot of them go unanswered. So it's frustrating. I know. This will be, yeah.
The other thing is, if I can get paid between now and Vegas, I wanted to do a $100,000 agreement. And then I was wondering, can I do it out there, not with a cashier's check, but just from my cash app, from my wallet?
From your wallet, yes. Yes, you can. Say that again?
Okay, I wanted to fund the $100,000 agreement from my e-wallet.
Okay.
Is that possible?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and what RV would also do for us leaders, we can't tell everyone on our team that he'll do this, but whatever funds we have in our accounts, whether it's our trading account or our network account, kind of do what he did with Gary. He did it with me as well. I had over $100,000 in my trading as well as my network account. So he basically depleted almost all of that and gave me 100. So that's what he would do for us leaders. Think about it. It saves us 5% of us doing it. Okay, let me do a withdrawal, send it to the agreement fund, do a withdrawal, send it to the agreement fund. He'll do that for us and save us the money and say, okay, you owe me $6,000 in Bitcoin, send it to this address, and you send it to him, and bam, you got 100,000. All right. Does anyone else have anything? Kyle, I know you kind of jumped in late. Victor, you jumped in late. Long story short is that we do have RV's country club for Vegas. It will hold 200 people, and there's no restrictions because it's a private country club. So we're gonna be able to invite about 16 people ourselves per leader. We'll be able to invite 16 people. So. But the stipulation for that is they must have a $10,000 or higher trading agreement. So I think we've all agreed on that. So maybe we reach out to people that have less than 10,000 and say, look, you want to go to Vegas, you got to have a 10,000, and you could go to Vegas with either the cash or a cashier's check and get in front of RV, that'd be great. You'll be able to sit with RV between you and 6 other people in his penthouse, meet with him for a bit, and get upgraded to a $10,000 trading agreement. So there are some perks to doing that. Maybe is that something you think I should bring out just to on the meeting on Wednesday? Is just kind of lay it out that way?
I think so.
Okay. You're right. It's that little carrot right there. That little carrot. So. Okay, well, listen, I'm telling you, with the Kala wallet coming out, I know Gary kind of got to see a little bit of it, but with that coming out, I think that's gonna resolve a lot of our hassles that we're having now about people getting paid, because I know it's frustrating. It's very frustrating, and I send RV messages and text messages all the time, so I know he's real busy, but I think once we get to that Kala wallet, it's gonna help out a lot with all of us. Say that again?
2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah. 2 weeks. When I talked to Denise says realistically she's thinking April 1st, but that is April Fool's Day, so maybe she's messing with me. I don't know, but we'll see. I say within 2 weeks we should have it. All right, guys. Well, I recorded this. I'll just send this recording out to our leaders group for the other 3 or 4 that weren't able to make it. And appreciate you jumping on, Gary. Thanks for jumping on. Enjoy that granddaughter, and we'll chat with you guys on Wednesday. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.